This is a Abarth test body. I'm going to just turn on the key and show you the codes that it's flashing here, the warnings. We'll get into a problem that I've found, but I'm not sure where the problem is. But I'm just going to turn the key on, and I'll read the codes out as they come down. Tire pressure monitoring unavailable. Have power steering checked. See handbook. Check license plate. Airbag. See handbook. Check running lights. Hill start unavailable. See handbook. ESC unavailable. See handbook. EBD failure. See handbook. ABS unavailable. See handbook. Low brake fluid level. Do not proceed. And back to tire pressure. And what happens here is I've got this fuse. This fuse blew. It's only a 20. But when you go to crank it, right now nothing. So I shut it back off. Turn it back on. If I go and push the clutch pedal down, which I just did, and now I crank it, I just blew the fuse. So I put a what I've got here, I don't have those big fuses, so I just took a regular 15 amp fuse, put a couple of stabs on it on either end, and I'm using that to get around it. So I'm thinking I've got a short in here someplace in this mess of wires. I'm going to have to do a little bit of investigating and see what the heck's going on here. So that's about as far as I can get on it right now. The rest of the engine is together. It's ready. Fuel's in. Coolant is in the test body. But I've got to search out on that circuit with the clutch pedal. Okay, I found my short. If you take a look, this part here, this is what goes onto the starter. So there's a stud that goes through here, and the nut is on this side, and a flat stab is in here that brings the bus in, the main lug, to the starter. But there's a large eyelet that sits in here and lays in this way, and a plastic spacer. And this here is the contact to the the starter solenoid. It's not a stab on there. It's just a goofy setup. And I took this stab, this ring, and I thought because of the size of it, it was part of the body ground, and I grounded it. So I removed it. I let it float, and used a test light, turned the key, and it puts power to this point on that wire. So I believe that I've got all the permissives for it to crank. Whether it gets fuel or not, I don't know, but this is an ongoing process. All right, I've got it set up so the clutch pedal has been depressed. Going through the blueprints, going through the manual from Tech Authority, there is no permissive from the transmission. It's only from the clutch pedal. Automatic transmission has a permissive, but this doesn't. Anyways, we turn the key on, we get lights, we got stuff making noise here, but we're going to turn the key. So we have a crank. So this is positive. I'm gonna, next step will be to add fuel to my my fuel cell that's buried in this mess here, underneath here. And what I will do after that is I will go put the fuel pump back on. I've got it disconnected because every time I turn the key on, it primes, and there's no fuel in the tank, and I can hear the bearings running dry, so I don't want to damage that pump. So we're moving in the right direction. Okay, people, I put some fuel in the test cell, and I didn't get it to fire, but you know, here we are. It looks ugly, bear with me, but here we go. not sure about the squealing, but we got a running engine in an X19 test platform. So I'm making progress. We'll do one more try here. Got my fire extinguisher handy just in case. Idle is about 1500. I think I might have a vacuum leak here someplace, but it appears that it's running. It did have a miss in it, but it seems to have sorted itself out. So back to the drawing board, on to the next step.